So what does all this mean? So let's just, I just shared a whole lot of information with you and crammed into one slide all the how we're going to do it stuff. But there is a big vision here. And like I said at the beginning, I think it's critical to not be afraid to come back to a big vision and say it like you mean it. And I really do mean it. This is what we have to do. This is as a species, not just as money managers. We have to go from markets designed to promote extraction and consumption, meaning the way industrial markets have been understood, to markets designed to promote preservation and restoration. Specifically to the thing we're talking about tonight, within a decade, we have to create a flow of billions of dollars per annum to small food enterprises that are building the soil of the economy. If we don't do that, what the heck are we all doing? We have to do that. Here's a couple of other slightly more provocative ways of thinking about vision. 3 50-50 questions. What if you had to invest 50% of your assets within 50 miles of where you lived? It's worth just meditating on that. It's like a Zen koan of investment, right? What if there were a generation of companies that gave away 50% of their profits? Now, this sounds crazy when you first hear it. So if you think about Newman's Own for a second, how many people saw Paul Newman's, it wasn't really an obituary, it was really a feature article in the New York Times after he died. It was a whole page of the New York Times. So however many, 5 columns, whatever it is. The last column, last thing in there was a quote from him that said, all I'm saying is, this is his words, we all have to be more like farmers. We have to put back what we take out. And when I saw that, I kind of got goosebumps, and I thought, that's how he wanted to be remembered. I mean, he obviously arranged to have that be, I can't believe the reporter happened to come up with that quote at the end of his obituary. And I really think the spirit of Newman's Own is that spirit. However imperfect, some people are critics of the company, and it's not really giving away 100%, and they're paying high salaries, and all these other things. No company is perfect. How many people know Yvon Chouinard? Somebody probably knows Yvon Chouinard in this room. So he was on a panel with Rob Walton, the chairman of Walmart, the head of environmental whatever for Coca-Cola, and Ray Anderson. Think about this panel at the Rocky Mountain Institute 25th anniversary gala like 2 years ago. And the guy from Coke went on this little spiel about how they're reducing the amount of plastic in their bottles. And Yvon is just kind of sitting there like this, and he just goes, that is complete bullshit. That's like saying you're going to make socially responsible hand grenades. This is what he said. So he said, every company pollutes and wastes and is promoting consumption. We're all guilty. There's no such thing as a perfect company. So I picked that because it's down the street. I do happen to be wearing a Patagonia shirt, my little prop. But it's a great company in many, many ways. You all know it, I don't have to tell you. But so it innovated in this regard, giving away 1% of gross. That was like, oh my God, that is like totally radical. But first it was Ben & Jerry giving away 7.5% of net. That was ridiculous. Then it got to be 10%, and then a bunch of companies kind of inched up to 10% of pre-tax. And then Yvon just said, well, forget all this pre-tax, all these mumbo jumbo. Let's just take it off the top. What if we just took 1%? Now there's like 1,000 companies or 1,200 companies part of this 1% for the planet thing. It's a beautiful thing. I actually think the ultimate resting place of that whole spirit is companies that give away 50%, meaning for every dollar that goes to the shareholders, $1 goes to stakeholders, or every dollar of fast money, $1 of slow money. That may sound preposterous, and maybe it is, but it doesn't feel to me like it is. There are a few other companies trying to do Newman's Own things. There's a company up in the Bay Area called Give Something Back. It's a $30 million office products company, crazy company. At the end of every year, the customers vote on where all the profits get given away, to what community groups. So the impulse of Newman's Own, I think, was incredibly important and beautiful, even though no other company has ever really figured out how to scale. I mean, I think Newman's Own has given away, somebody might know the numbers here, more than $250 million over its life as a company. So however flawed it is, or however unreplicable it is, a beautiful model. This, I think, could work. Think about Patagonia. If Patagonia gave away 50% of its profits instead of 1% of its gross, shareholders would die to invest in the other 50%. They would, you'd have plenty of irrational exuberance with the other 50%, and you'd have a more integral model of corporate social responsibility, I think. Last 50-50. What if in 50 years we had 50% more organic matter in our soil? So, but that's the way we have to start thinking about how we're investing. We have to have a target that makes sense for us, and so I won't say more about that. I said this when I happened to read the passage of the book that had this sentence in it, but I don't always read that. And so this is someone who's no longer with us, words about we must bring money back down to earth. And then I usually end with a Nyman pig because I think staring the pig in the face is an important thing to do. And that is the story.